question of the day. Does your character consider themselves a hero, a villain, something else? What do you think of yourselves in that sort of vein? Just some guy?
I'm haunted.
Checks out.
I'm gonna order myself a.
All right. Well, we know hunker is hunker.
Maz sees herself as a mastermind.
Hmm. All right.
Brodus is a hero. We're all heroes. Blood pumps through the holes in your body. You got hero magic making you animate. Even fucking skeletons would be a hero, man. We're all just fucking dots in the same painting. We all gotta shine. One of us lights out. Doesn't that, we all gotta live and die and burn off. Everybody's a hero. We're all sparks in one big fireworks show.
Nice.
Damn, that's beautiful. I think Braz is an average Joe with the potential to be amazing. So she views herself.
Okay. Alrighty. Sounds good. Okay. Anybody remember what we got up to last time? Or is everything lost in Baldur's Gate 3 somewhere?
Oh, our cave friend, I cannot ever remember his name.
Oh.
The guy we met in the cave.
Tarkik.
Yes. He decided to join us, and then we put on a freaking amazing show.
You did?
That's all I got.
Yep. You guys put on an amazing show. Managed to thwart some potential sabotaging by the menagerie. That seems like they were trying to do to y'all. But you were observant enough to get that prevented, which is good for you guys. But yeah, the show went great. Impressed the town. Impressed Andira. And yeah, so it seems like you guys are all kind of well and set up here in Escadar for a bit. And you still have your permission to be here, and you got your little space out here outside of town, and yeah, but other matters are still pressing. The this Moonstone Hall that you got information about back in Averton, that's supposedly here somewhere, but you haven't seen anything like that or heard anybody talking about something like that. But supposedly here and supposedly important and ancient. So,
have we met anybody who seems important and ancient?
In terms of people that are, you've met people that are somewhat important. You've met Andira, but you haven't really met anybody ancient. There's certainly some
lies. Mistress Dusklight is ancient.
That old bitch.
Like you've certainly seen. You've seen plenty of like elderly folks around town. Like you don't really know how old this thing is really. Like it's been around a long time, but you don't know how how recent was that. Like up until when? Like, is it still here? Is it not? Do people still remember what it is? You don't know.
All right. So we gotta fish for information, and the best way to get people to tell you stuff, and very quickly, is to be wrong in public, and they will correct you. I say we put on a puppet comedy show with Honker and I, where we play two lads of Moonstone Hall, and we goof around like prattling dinnies until somebody comes up and tries to start talking shit, and then we'll lead them down the fairy path and tell us what the fuck it's all about.
Good as fun as any.
That is a great idea. Goddamn.
Grodus has learned most things. Most of his lectures in his life has been from him just talking shit or being stupid. Somebody always comes over and corrects him quickly, loudly, and right away.
All right. All right. Okay. So have here. I threw up a map of Escadar here. So in terms of places you've kind of been, mainly in terms of places you've kind of like gone and like hung out a little bit. Conclave Square there in the middle is kind of the city center of sorts. Like that's where Andira's office is and such. And then of course the Mist Market just south of that. You guys were kind of poking around and doing some shopping. But a lot of the rest of the town, is somewhat more residential, and you just kind of pass through on the major streets. But yeah, if you want to do a poorly researched puppet show,
Aren't they all?
yeah. So I guess in that case, well, I guess what do you guys know about Moonstone Hall, if anything? Like, are we just pulling everything out of our ass, or?
I mean, it probably has something to do with the moon.
I mean, I
Maybe
literally
getting
forgot
stoned.
about it till this moment.
Okay.
Grodus is just gonna approach it like it's just some ding dong secret society hangout, where like people try to plot what the moon is doing, but they don't know that they're actually just getting directions from Grodus, who is the pale moon that hangs over the boneyard, waiting for the end of all things in Pathfinder.
Okay.
So Grodus comes on in third part as the moon that they're worshiping in Moonstone Hall, and he's just sweeping up the stage, trying to sweep them off. And they keep bowing in reverence and fixing their bits and stuff.
Okay.
It's definitely, it seems that like the idea is to put out mockery of the idea that we have our secret clubhouse underground where we worship the moon, where no moonlight gets through.
Okay. All right. I dig it. I see where you're going there. All right. So, I guess if we're wanting to do this little kind of mock puppet show to bait, well, actually type people, where in town you guys want to do this? And if you have any questions about stuff you're seeing on the map there, I can try to get you info about what those are to kind of help narrow down where we want to be.
House of the Cresting Wave looks fancy.
Sure.
Esterview, is that the neighborhood where people are going to come up with spectacles and correct us?
So in terms of like kind of the general economical class of Escadar, Esterview is kind of somewhat more well-to-do. Pearl Reach up in the north, behind its own little wall, there is definitely more of the ritzy side. The castle and the Magistrum. But most of the rest of the area, Fogside, Artisan District, Light Lane, Dockside District, like that's all pretty like. I'd say probably the Artisan District is a little bit more middle class, and then like Fogside, Woodworkers District, Dockside District, definitely more kind of the kind of slummier, criminal-y side. Like there's a lot of kind of underground stuff that goes on here just because of the naval base and port, and so you get a lot of that sort of activity going on, especially down in like the Dockside District and the Woodworkers District. Has quite a bit of criminal activity, and then the Puddles is just straight up slum outside of the walls there. But yeah,
I'm not thinking Pearl Reach because it's too likely that like we take down the gated community before we get set up.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking Esterview.
Okay.
Just because it seems like it's an established neighborhood where old shit might be. We're not gonna get kicked out right away.
Sure. So as for
We're not getting our
the
throat slit for being in the wrong game territory.
yeah, so as for the House of the Cresting Wave there in Esterview, like if you guys are kind of looking around there, this is kind of a majestic and kind of interestingly architectured building. It's got a lot of curves to it, and this interesting kind of turquoisey teal stone work. Asking around, people also refer to this as the wet house, but it is evidently an embassy for a race of amphibious humanoids called the Azarketi, and it is actually the only embassy in all of Galarian for that particular group of folks. But yeah, these folks are also kind of colloquially referred to as the Gillmen. But yeah, it's an embassy for those people.
So we're not gonna try to piss. We're not gonna do it right in front of the house of the Cresting Wave. Don't want to cause problem with ocean people. Just trying to get some uptight upper middle class American correctness.
Fair enough. Yeah, so we'll just say kind of like in around Esterview somewhere, but not in front of the embassy. That works. Okay. So, you gather up, you gather up a few things from your camp. You have, especially from like the sideshow folks, you're able to get some supplies for some sort of a puppet show. I mean, things like that they sometimes do in the sideshow for the kids, and so not anything particularly out of the ordinary. But you head into town. You get a bit set up. You start kind of setting up a little, puppet stage, high front, little curtain, that sort of thing. One of the city guards kind of approaches you as you're getting set up, and he says, "Oh, what are y'all doing here?"
It's a comedy in one act. It's called Two Pumpkin Lilies of Moonstone Hall.
Ah, a street show. Well, that's certainly fine. Carry on, as long as you're not getting up to anything shady.
Oh, sure. Nothing shady at all. Just good family entertainment, tailored to the local audience's sensibilities.
The guard seems pretty content with this answer. It doesn't seem like you guys are up to anything too out of the ordinary. So he allows you to kind of continue on your way and gets it up. As you guys are finishing up, there's somewhat of a small crowd gathering around the area. I mean, there was pretty good turnout to your guys' show, and it went quite well. And of course, you guys also have merch that has been seen around town, and so word has gotten around about the circus, and so people are curious as to what you are doing. You have a little group of kids that are all kind of right up in the front. They've seen these sorts of things before, so they kind of know what to expect, and so they're kind of gathering up in front. And you have a few adults, mostly their parents, it seems, around the edges, just kind of looking on, curious to see where y'all are going with this.
All right. Then Rhoda starts announcing, "Today we show to you a really good funny show. It's about some stuff that we heard about. It's based on true story. All this shit really happened. It's about Moonstone Hall here in town, which it's a great place we all love and know so much about. So this is like our fucking tribute to it. Hit it. Here's Honker as a lad of Moonstone Hall. Honk it up, buddy."
So my nose has been painted white, and I have a couple little sticks in there that I kind of light on fire in an attempt to look kind of shiny.
Okay.
And I'll blink it out in front of everybody, so like I kind of pretend like I'm hiding a little bit, and sure I have a cantrip or something where I could make yeah, prestidigitation. There we go.
Okay.
I'll use that to like pop, little shiny moonstones and act like I'm hiding and hoarding them.
Okay. Right.
You
The dancing little kind of cracks and pops of these, as well as your, painted little fire outfit. The kids seem to be enjoying it. It's entertainment. It's lights. It's noises. Fun stuff. Give me a performance check just while you're doing that.
So,
Okay. All right. So we have Honker moonstoning it up. Where are we going with this?
Here we see them, the beginning of the Moonstone Hall. About 200 years ago, it began, when pieces of the moon fell from the night sky. The dandy lad, the first Moonstoner, found them, gathered them unto himself, thought they were precious eggs of the sky, and they would hatch into stars. He was stupid. And from thence, other stupid people quickly flocked to his rally, for who didn't want to have a star in their own home to replace their fireplace, not knowing that stars are actually giant pieces of gods waiting to swallow and devour passing words.
Okay.
But yet, the Moonstone Hall's idiocy provided a safe haven for the people of Good Aberton, and started to caress them in the ways of the tides. The Gilman, seeing the people above struggling just to know which way was up and trying to burn themselves alive with giant gas giants hatched from eggs in their homes, came to them and tried to teach them what the moon was really about, what them living with the tides and all.
All right. All right. All right. I'm gonna.
And it was all a jolly time. People soon realized the idiocy of it all, but couldn't give it up because it was kind of fun, and they had collected so many neat rocks. They decided to keep them underground so passers-by couldn't know the whole story of how dumb it was, but they still couldn't give it up entirely. This is now where Moonstone Hall sits, with members who are both smart, dumb, and typically average, which trends towards down, can sit and admire the gaiety of the old days.
All right. So as you're going on with this fanciful story, like the kids that they don't know any better. They're eating this up. They think it's great. You got all sorts of wild elements coming together. What more do you want in children's entertainment? The adults, I'd say probably like 2/3 of them are just kind of going along with it. It's street puppet show, some zany tale, whatever. Some of them, you see a few of them, maybe looking like a little confused. They just kind of quizzical looks on their faces, or just kind of watching with kind of a kind of a tight-lipped sort of expression of like that doesn't seem quite right, but whatever. It's
It sounds amazing, but it's 100% the truth, and it's known by locals who have welcomed us into their home. We can't wait to go to the next several towns and share this exact same tale.
I just want to point out that Maz in the audience has completely forgotten about the fact that this is a lie. And she's just like so enthralled and just like into it, because the idea of a whole like club of people just like super into collecting shiny rocks has her so excited.
That is a fair point.
This is her moment.
That is a fair point indeed. How about you, Browse? What have you been doing through all this?
Trying to hide my laughter and just trying to look like I'm enjoying the show because it's so fucking hilarious.
All right. Grotus, you give me a performance check as well. From you as you're doing all this. Okay. All right. So you guys go through your whole little performance here, and finish up, and the kids are happy, they're entertained. Like I said, zany little story. You managed to make a little bit of coin out of it. Maz, Braz, some of the adults, and a couple of the kids, like toss you a few copper as well. But I'd say all told, you probably make like a couple silver, like nothing too much. But still, a little bit of contribution from that. Let me just add like a couple silver to somebody. I'm not gonna bother putting that in the party sheet. Sure, Maz, why not? Free cash. There you go. Have a couple silver. All right. And at the end of all of this, as people are kind of milling about their way, and you guys are kind of getting things packed up, you see let's see here. You see an elderly man, kind of making his way out of the crowd towards you here. He has these, almost kind of somewhat religious-looking robes on. But you can also see that he has like a pretty decently sized sword on his hip, which he carries pretty well, despite his age. But he comes up to you all, and he's like, "Well, that was an interesting story you all told there. Where did you come about that information? That doesn't quite line up with the books that I've read. I know you're all from a circus or something and may not be as well read, but is this, like, did you hear this on the streets?"
We listened as hard as we could.
Hmm.
Do you know something better? I'm not sure. I think the guy who told us, he was so nice, but he might have been drunk.
Well, it was certainly a entertaining story, but, well, I don't believe the history of the Moonstone Hall and the other Arodenite ruins that used to be here and now are beneath the city, long since partially filled and converted into a sewer system for the growing city of Escadar, at least a century ago, if not more. But I don't believe it was quite so wild. If I recall, I may have a few tomes back at the monastery of Saint Sarnax on the west side of town. If you want to get some more information about the actual story, perhaps it would help you better formulate your show for the future.
Well, Grotus is nothing if not committed to only telling historically accurate shows.
Yeah, it's about truth and not about fun or entertainment or value or excitement. It's just about getting shit just the way that it was put in the books. Yeah, give us the books.
Well, I don't have them here with me, of course. I don't really walk around with them. But you're welcome to visit the St.
Look.
Sarnax Monastery at any time, and we'd certainly be able to take a look around and see what we can find to help refine your tale.
All right. I'll have to go get my library badge.
And this elderly gentleman, he kind of makes his way off towards the west. You guys haven't been over to St. Sarnax, but at least in terms of the skyline of Escadar, it's not too difficult to pick out. There's only so many noticeably tall buildings around here, and especially out of the ones that you've seen, there's a definitively churchy-looking one off in the western part of town. It seems to be the direction that this gentleman was heading. Didn't catch his name, but
Fair enough.
we'll see if we
We'll head
see if
that
we run
way.
into him later. All right. So once you get things packed up and the supplies and things, you deliver those to some fellow circus workers outside the walls of the city who bring them back to the camp. You guys make your way over to the St. Sarnax Monastery on the western side of town. You can tell right away that this building is quite old, and at least of the ones that you've seen, walking around town, definitely older than most of the things here. It is a pretty imposing white marble structure that towers several stories over the various residences around here on this side of town. You head inside, and you see in kind of the narthex of the building a very beautiful carving, which has it depicts a large star kind of in the center of, like, top center of the wall. That's very fancifully carved with these kind of beaming rays coming off of it in all directions. And below it, you see a number of what look to be depicted knights. And all of these knights, they're upholding these swords, and they're all wearing these very majestic flowing robes as well, and seem to be depicted with these swirling colors around them, representing some sort of magic or magic power or something like that. But this sticks out to you as you step into the place. It's pretty quiet in here. Beyond the narthex, you can kind of see the main chapel of the building here, and there's a few people just around in the pews, just in here doing prayers or other kinds of worship. You see another gentleman kind of up towards the front, who seems to be taking alms and giving blessings to people who are coming in. Doesn't look to be the same one that you ran into on the street, though, but he does have similar robes.
Oh, we're looking for information about the various Aroden ruins in the neighborhood. Each point us to the books, and somebody to read them to me in shorter version, please.
Did you just ask for the spark notes?
Yes, sir. I'm a bodily kinesthetic learning type.
Gonna learn the books by having the books slapped upside your head, and knowledge will get in there somehow, right?
Mhm.
That's this way.
All right, so as you go up, you kind of get in line. There's like one or two people in front of you, waiting to talk to this priest, or you suppose priest. You get up to and you ask him these questions here about the ruins and things like that, and he thinks for a moment and he says, "Books about the history. It sounds like you may have run into Alaric. Was he an elderly fellow, robes like mine, that sort of thing?"
Wasn't as ugly, but yeah.
the priest is a little taken aback by this, and furrows his brow slightly, and somewhat tersely says, "Well, you can find him in the office in the building just out the door to the right in the back of the chapel. Please, hurry along." And he kind of shoos you
Out
in
the
that
door and
direction.
Back the chapel, out the door and back the chapel, out the door and back the chapel. Older read us books.
So you head out. So this monastery, it includes a few different buildings. Like clearly there's this main building here, but you go out the back, and there's a small, kind of walled-in area around here in the back of the church with a few other buildings that are nearby. One to the right here is it's only about 2 stories tall, but not particularly like lengthy or large, but kind of a small stone and wooden building. But you head inside, and you see kind of working at a desk here this elderly gentleman in the robes that you'd ran into earlier today. And he kind of looks up as you all walk in and says, "Oh, well, if it isn't the street performers. Came to learn a little bit more, to refine your craft, eh?"
I'm not a street performer, I'm a clown.
"Ah, well, yes."
Yeah, we're looking for information about some of the things around here, just because if you're going all these places, you got to learn all kinds of shit. And we're big time sewer spelunker explorer types. So if there's any infrastructural information we need to know about, that's how to help.
Well, I hope you haven't been spelunking in the sewers before coming here, I hope. I don't smell it on you, at least, so...
Yeah, so starting with something like Moonstone Hall, is it in active use today in any sort of people, and does it have any sort of magical connections to things?
Well, it hasn't been in use for quite some time. It was buried years and years ago. Here, follow me. We'll go to the archives for the monastery, and we'll take a look. Get you some exact information. I know that you are concerned about the factual truth here of the history, which is commendable. So here, take a walk with me. We'll walk around the monastery and see what we can find out for you all.
But why was it buried? Is it because the rocks were too powerful?
I don't believe it was anything like that. I think it was just a matter of city planning, more like. But I'm sure the records will have more details. What was that, Braz?
She quickly lost interest in the story once he said it was city planning.
Bruh, do you think there's still cool rocks down there?
I guarantee it, sister.
There may very well be. But so this gentleman walks outside and kind of into the central area of the monastery, and he's taking his time. He is an elderly gentleman, but he's kind of certainly taken his time of it. He stops a few times, kind of crossing across the central area of the monastery, and talks about how, let's see, where is the page for this? So he kind of stops like halfway across the courtyard here, and he kind of looks up at the I think we lost Quick and Braz. We'll give them a moment for their internet to come back.
Goddamn internet.
Okay, well, we still hear you here, but it looks like the Fantasy Grounds crashed.
That's definitely Quick's internet, not mine.
Ah. Well, we'll give Quick a moment to get reconnected to us here. Which is fine, because now I can look up more stuff for this guy to babble about.
See, the story is going to be so accurate.
I mean, I guess if we're just established that it's not like the secret society town hideout, and it's just supposedly some old ruin underground, which is really what we want to know is how to get there.
Alright, looks like things are coming back online. We'll see once Quick gets back in the call here. Let's see. Let's get some more information here while we're waiting. Let's see. Oh, I see Quick in Fantasy Grounds. That's a good sign. I'll take this opportunity to drink some water.
Gotta hydrate.
Ah.
Wet the old whistle before you weave us a tale.
I'm flooded with memories of original Baldur's Gate. This guy's like Orion. These walls hold the world's knowledge. Every time he fucking walks on screen, these walls hold.
Welcome back, Quick. Let us know if you can hear us. Oop. And back. Still nothing. If you're talking. Oh.
Here.
Let's use my phone.
All right. Well, welcome back. Alrighty. So, where are we? So yeah, we're in the middle of the courtyard, and it's elderly gentleman. He stops, and he's kind of looking up at the main chapel here before you all, and he's like, "Ah, the monastery of Saint Sarnax. It was founded in ancient times, one of the oldest buildings here on the Isle of Aroden, and
Oh
it
no,
was
no, no, no! You
the
gotta tell us
only
about the
place.
underground, the
It was
dark
the
ship. We wanna know
only
the
place
ship.
on the Isle of Aroden that the clergy of Aroden were allowed to visit for the longest
kill
time.
me.
And the rest of the island, actually, to the north, the entire Isle of
Grotus
Aroden.
blows a purple smoke cloud so thick.
The rest of the island to the north was actually reserved for the god Aroden's personal use.
Oh, these nerds, they're so angry.
Muzz just leans over to Grotus and is like, Nini gave me some mysterious liquid if you want it.
This is my suffering for the day. I haven't done anything to risk death yet. This is how I look it in the eyes. This is it. This is how I haven't felt this scared in a long time.
So you guys are kind of back here talking amongst yourselves, having a bit of a fit. But he continues. The tradition of this with Saint Sarnax, it continued for centuries, even after Aroden had left the sea region. There were scholars that came here and stored many of the collection of the Atlanti manuscripts that were so rare they were not even found in Absalom. And 5 centuries ago, actually, the government of Absalom, they came and they fortified the harbor to turn it into the headquarters for the city's navy. And, well, today, there are only 3 of us, scholar, sword mage knights, including myself, and he kind of taps the sword at his side here, who remain here in the monastery, although the marble of this place still shines as brightly as it did in Aroden's day himself. And he kind of looks satisfied with himself. It sounds like he may not get to tell the story to people very often. But
And how many hours have passed since he started talking?
I mean, it's been a good few minutes, just kind of standing here awkwardly in the middle of this courtyard as, you know, this guy just kind of stares up at the chapel here. But he kind of finishes his tale, and he's kind of nodding to himself, kind of pleased at his recounting of this. And he kind of looks over and sees over here, and he says, "Oh, right, my apologies. Come now." And he continues the rest of the way across the courtyard here into another building of the monastery. And inside, you can already see, this place has quite a lot of records around. There's scrolls, there's books, there's all sorts of things piled all over here. And he says, "Well, if we're looking for things about Moonstone, they may be a little deeper down." And he goes, and you kind of follow him towards the back. There's a staircase that descends down a bit. And you eventually kind of find yourself in the lower reaches of this building. It's fairly dark down here, but he pulls a candle holder off the wall, lights it, and begins kind of walking along here carrying this. And you guys are kind of following along with his slowly moving light. But eventually he sets this down and begins kind of thumbing across a couple of shelves down here of books, kind of hemming and hawing to himself. And eventually you hear him kind of make a little exclamatory sound, and he kind of delicately pulls a book off the shelf and dusts it off and blows a bit of dust off it here. He says, this may be what we're looking for. And he cracks open the book here, continues kind of blowing a bit of dust away as he turns through the pages here, and he says, well, so the Moonstone Hall, and like I said, it was buried a century ago. As the city of Escalar expanded, they needed to get a bit of a sewer system put in to make sure that the growing population had, well, somewhere to go. You know how it is. And many of the older ruins that were under the city some of them were incorporated into it, others were just kind of forgotten about on the fringes as the city was built up around and over them. The Moonstone Hall itself, it says here, was founded by a pious human man named Ulthadar, which I'm not sure how much that helps, but, names, you need names for your stories and for your show, so there's one to write down in your notes. Let's see. I'm having some difficulty determining the location in here. There seem to be some footnotes cross-referencing some other texts that may be around here. If there's any of you that want to help him with this, you can do a religion or a society check to kind of help him look through these books down here.
All right, I'll help the old man out.
I have the opposite of society. I have Lore Underworld.
Oh, I have that too.
I'll say you can. Even though this isn't directly related to the underworld, there may have been some uses of it that went that way. So, yeah, we'll give you that. Okay. So all three of you here are kind of helping look through these books and trying to find, these cross references that he's talking about, and you're having a little trouble as well. Some of these writings are difficult to decipher, especially for yourselves. I don't think any of you are quite as well read, but in the end, after thumbing through a number of these books and perusing these pages, all of you together, you aren't able to suss out an exact description of where this might be. And Alaric here, he takes a seat on like a stool nearby and is kind of thinking about things here, and he's like, well, we don't seem to be having any luck with some of the finer details, but given the given the connection with the city works, you may want to check up at the Magisterium, as they may have some city records related to the expansion of the sewage system and the city expansion itself. Perhaps they might have something with a more exact location. I don't doubt that it's somewhere in here, but we just aren't having a lot of luck here today, it seems. I wish I could have been of more help, but, well, hopefully that'll set you on the right path. The Magisterium, if you don't know, is up in the northern part of town, up near the castle. But yeah, I'd give them a look there. Maybe the city records are a little better organized.
Well, thank you for your help. Here's a donation for your discretion. I don't want anybody else to get the same idea for the same tattoo as me, so don't tell anybody else about we're looking for Moonstone Hall. Rhoda slides in like a money pouch, but it's actually his digital.
So Alaric, he takes the pouch. He doesn't look at it. But and it's also still kind of dark down here. You guys have like a candle, maybe 2 candles. But he takes it and he says, "Well, I appreciate the generosity. Saint Sarnax, we bless you for coming to visit. Thank you for your patronage, and come back anytime. As you can see all around us here, there's plenty of stories to tell."
Hell yeah, man. Enjoy the donation with your favorite story. Catch you on the flip side, man.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't even think Maz knows how to read, but she was helping anyway.
This explains a lot. Why we were having some difficulty.
Great reading level.
All right. So you guys, after spending a much longer amount of time at St. Sarnax than you probably would have hoped, you guys get out of the monastery. So you guys are standing on this kind of main road on the western side of town. The Magisterium, the Magistratum, sorry, it's not the Magisterium, the Magistratum, like you said, is up to the north, up near the castle. Heading that way right away.
That's where we're going.
All right. So
We're gonna walk in like we got an appointment.
Sounds good. So you guys head to the north, and are met with the kind of keep wall of sorts that kind of goes around this district of town where the castle is located. And the gates are open. It is it has this wall up for kind of emergencies more of these days, but it's still there. But you head inside, and you can definitely tell this part of town is the kind of the fancier side of town. The homes here are larger, they're nicer, kind of finer quality stone. People walking around, have a bit of bit finer clothes. This is definitely the upper class side of Escudar. But you do, come on through. There's among all of these kind of nicer, richer looking people, like there's still a fair number of kind of regular folks around here as well. And as you approach the Magistratum itself, you see just from some of the signage on the outside that this monumental kind of granite building here is, in addition to city records and legal record storage, also the primary courthouse of Escudar. And so any sort of legal offenses, things like that, all happen up here as well. But you head inside, and kind of following around where things are noted, head to the wing of the Magistratum that appears to be the records side of things. And you see, kind of on a front desk of sorts, oh, hello, pumpkin. Hi. You can get out here in my lap. Give me.
He's extra needy. Enjoy.
Oh, fun. You see an elven gentleman behind the desk here. And he looks to be kind of writing a few things down on a few papers, and he sees you approach here and says, hello. Welcome to the city records. What can I do for you here today?
We're looking for records about Moonstone
The
Hall.
sewage expansion.
Sewage expansion. Ah, so are you looking for more of, like blueprints or historical approval documents?
Yeah, I lost my grandpappy's ring. I swallowed it because it got stuck on the sausage, and I shat it out. I need to see where all the main junctions go, and the thing is super important, and I won't get in the way, I promise.
That's what I meant by moonstone, because the moon and the stone, you get it? Nothing else.
Yeah, it was a moonstone ring. Oh man, I felt it going out, and I just couldn't grab it in time. It just went right there. You guys got great
Please give
flow.
darkness. I can't hear the story again.
It's all true. He's never been able to poop the same again.
But that stone passed through the moon, and it just ain't right. And it would help out this whole family here if you could just, it'd be a big heart thing for you.
Oh my god! I ask guys, like, you guys all got to give yourselves a hero point for this ridiculous shit today. This has been great so far. you guys are coming up with some wild plans. I don't think I ever would have guessed a rage bait puppet show. That's the way you were gonna go about this. That was fucking fantastic. And now this.
I didn't know if it was like a forbidden. I didn't know if it was like Moonstone was like a forbidden topic, or like if you're gonna bring up something that might be charged, like you have to act dumb.
I mean, it's a legitimate strategy. Like, well played. But yeah, I gotta give props for the creativity on that, and now on this little tale we're weaving here.
It just gets wilder and wilder.
This is great. This is good. This is good stuff. All right, the elven clerk here. He like, you could tell just from like the way his eyebrows are. He's kind of got that like, like that's very unfortunate kind of look in his eyes. But also, this is a lot of information I did really not need to know.
You and me both.
But he kind of wanly smiles, and it's like, all right, well, we'll see what we can do about that. Well, follow me. And he kind of flips up this part of the desk here to kind of let you guys through, and you follow him back through a door behind the desk into a storage area of this. And looking around in here, like, you see again, books, scrolls, rolled up parchments, things like that. This almost looks less organized than the basement of St. Sarnak's Monastery. One thing in particular you notice, at least in the case of those of you that can read, the signs labeling things, if you think to like, library IRL, like oftentimes you'll find like that sign that's like, here's the Dewey Decimal System, and here is what that means, and where to find this stuff. There seem to be a couple different conflicting sorting systems at use. Like, you see a few different signs about these kinds of organizational systems around, like saying, this is here, this is here, this is here. And this other sign says, okay, no, those are actually over here. And they're all kind of written in different hands. So it seems the clerks of this place seem to have their own kind of method of doing things that may not cross with some of the other ones very well. But he leads you in here. And as he goes back in here, there's a few other people that are around working back here, kind of lower level functionaries of the city. But he taps one on the shoulder, and he says, "These fine folks here, they're looking for records about the sewer system expansion and possibly blueprints, that sort of thing. They'll take care of your service fee, I'm sure, but if you could assist them here, I need to get back to the front desk." So he kind of briskly leaves and heads back towards his post towards the front, and this kind of young human male here kind of looks in your direction, and you can see in his eyes the eyes of a young man stuck in an uninteresting job. They look very bored. Somebody looks in your direction and says, all right, it's 10 SP per hour. but I can help you look around in here for what you need. So, yeah, do you agree to these terms?
Perhaps I could convince you of the value of a private show of the Circus of Wayward Wonders. Why, I have just the thing, and I'll like while I'm doing that, I'm honking and I'm like whipping out, getting ready to start juggling, and I'll be like, perhaps we could give you 3 silver pieces and I could tell you a few jokes along the way.
He kind of lets out like a deep sigh, and he's like, "Okay, I just work here, man. I'm just trying to make a little coin. Okay, let's say if we do 8, you can tell me some jokes along the way. How about that? Is that fair?"
How about? Okay, fine. You just see him like kind of deflate and
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, is this young man's name Burger Pants?
No, his name is not Burger Pants, and he is not 19 years old, and he has not yet wasted his entire life. But it sure feels like it to him at this time. So this functionary, he goes and goes along to assist you. Anyone along with here? He kind of encourages you all to, like, he kind of leads you over to a section here, and kind of encourages you all to take a look as well, because as you saw coming in here, a few different organizational systems, not quite exact. Roll a society check, or relevant lore, if you're kind of assisting sorting through things.
We got lower theater.
I've got a clown lore, so not super applicable here.
Yeah. All right. So, well, with Maz's role there, Maz, you can't read. You
It's a great
you
thing about-
you do find a document that looks to have has some kind of like neat pictures on it. You're not entirely sure what they are because you can't read any of the labels. But it's it looks like blueprint plans for a sewage system. But it looked kind of neat because it had pictures and it wasn't just words, and words are stupid. So you pull this out, and the kind of functionary comes over and takes a look at this and says, "Oh, yeah, this seems like this. This kind of seems like what you're looking for." And you kind of gather around, and you're taking a look at this, and you find that the Moonstone Hall was buried shortly after Aroden's death, to make way for civic improvements to the woodworkers district of Escadar, and that the only remaining entrance is near a specific mermaid fountain in the woodworkers district.
Legit. Thank you. And who's that Urthar guy before? He said he had something to do with that shit.
The functionary kind of looks a bit puzzled about this.
Sorry, y'all nerds look the same sometimes. It don't matter. You ever heard of that guy though, Urthar?
He does not know. He's never heard of this before. But from what you recall from the tales of Olaric over at Saint Sarnax, Ulthadar was the person who originally founded the Moonstone Hall long ago. But that was many, many years in the past, and this burial of Moonstone Hall is somewhat recent. Like it like just a century ago, it was buried under the Woodworkers District. So seems this mermaid fountain is the thing to look for.
Cheers, mate. We'll have to go check out the fountain. Everybody bring your umbrellas. We're gonna go play in a fountain.
All right, and who? So since Maz rolled so well, that did only take an hour. Who are we taking 8 SP from?
You can take it from me.
Take it from you. Okay. All right, you pay him his fee. Honker, did you have any joke that you were wanting to tell this functionary?
Yep. Tiefling rights.
Well, buddy, on our way to the mine, we're gonna have a talk about it.
Wow. Wow.
I want to know who's influencing you here. No, I'm not. Well, we're not talking.
Honker, what podcasts have you been listening to?
Seriously, I'm gonna put some limits on that scrying word. I swear to God.
Oh,
It's
dear.
because we let him have the scrying orb in his own quarters.
I can't sleep without Toad Rogan.
Toad Rogan.
What did I fucking tell you about that phone?
Oh dear. Alright. So you make your way out of the Magistratum. The Woodworkers District, from what you know, is, and at least from these maps that you're looking in there, it's kind of the far western side, just south of where Saint Sarnax was. So you guys head that direction. As you kind of get into the Woodworkers District, you can kind of tell right away that this is a rougher part of town. So you let's see here. So yeah, the here we are. So the neighborhood, the western neighborhoods of Escadar are filled with drug houses and gambling dens and overcrowded tenements. And from the info that you got from the records here, you managed to find a courtyard at the end of a deserted side street that's kind of sequestered away from the cacophony of the peddlers and things that are around here. And you find a gaping sinkhole that yawns next to a dry and crumbling fountain depicting a frolicking mermaid. And there is a metal fence around this sinkhole, and there are 4 people dressed in constable uniforms that stand near this fountain. They all seem to be at ease. They're all just kind of sitting around nearby, keeping a watch on the place. But they kind of perk up as you guys are walking up the street here.
Honker, can you simulate smells?
I think prestidigitation can do smells, can't it? Or is that just visuals?
It depends
Okay.
upon what the definition of the word is. It says cool, warm, or flavor 1 pound of non-living material. Now, granted, the science isn't there, but I would argue that that you know,
The flavor
one,
it would make the smell.
1 pound of oxygen is a hell of a large airspace. Maybe we could just nerf that a little bit and say like a 1/4 pound of oxygen molecules I could flavor with scent.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's arguable. Okay. Yeah. All right.
So, Grotus is gonna say, "All right, buddy, you're gonna know what to do," and then just kind of like, "Oh, hey there, Pookie," and then walks around the corner, like just around the edge near the alleyway, out of eye shot of the cops, and then he's gonna make a yell, and he's gonna say, it's gonna sound like, "Oi, me glazed sweet rolls, they're everywhere. I've got too many glazed sweet rolls. Oh no, the crows are coming. Somebody help me grab all these glazed sweet rolls."
Oh God. All right. Let's see.
They smell so good. Oh my lord, they're fresh.
R-
Stop! Help me!
roll a deception check for me.
Oh, by the gods, they're everywhere.
Okay. All right. So, with this, the guards posted here, you see them, they kind of stand up a bit and are kind of trying to get a look down that direction that your shouting is coming from. But they don't seem too particularly concerned. It
Good.
seems that
I've
they're
got them all now in me arms. They're rolling down the hill. Oh, they're all gonna go to waste now.
yeah, they don't see their sense of duty to whatever it is that they're stationed here for seems to be more than your convincing display of sweet roll homicide.
Yeah. I'm gonna go running down the street screaming, "Oh my god, sweet rolls!" And I'm gonna make sure to like run into them, like their legs, as I'm running. So like they can't ignore the fact that I'm there.
All right. So you run in, kind of run into one of them, and the guard that you run into, kind of grabs you by the shoulder here, and is like, "Hey, what's going on here?"
Didn't you hear? There's always extra sweet rolls. I'm gonna go get some. Come on.
That's all well and good, little girl. But I'm sorry. This area is dangerous.
I am not a little girl.
Well, my apologies, but this area is dangerous. Please, unless you have a reason to be here, please make your way out of the alley here. This area is not safe. We are here to guard it. Make sure that nothing happens.
Fine. I'll walk away, kind of shrugging Grotus's direction, like, "Hey, I tried."
All four of you roll a perception check. Okay. So, Grotus, you recognize. So the insignia on their uniforms, you deduce that these folks report to Andira. So perhaps that may be an avenue to check into.
Indira. Right. All right. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. We'll go check in with them then.
All right.
Or there is a long Sorry, that's a lot of back and forth. Gross is gonna walk right up to these guys.
Okay.
Gentlemen, you've been doing a great job. And he's gonna stiffen up and kind of like stretch his clothes out. I've been watching you and blend in with these street rats here. You guys have been really holding up, making the blue look good. Dearest Pratt, what we have here now is the special unit's going to take over from here. We need you guys to expand the perimeter. We're going to put up a new fence here. You two, I need you to watch the north alley, 2-2 south alley. He's coming straight from the top. We'll be in and out.
Roll me another deception for that one.
Could I argue that, like, because I'm fucking annoying, while he's doing this, like, I'm kind of honking and doing clown shit so that I can aid him in his deception?
Sure.
I'm saying, like, you guys would be so disappointed by how many people fall for the sweet roll trick. It was good stuff. You guys are well starched.
Okay. Yeah, Grotus, go ahead and roll yours. All right. Let's see. What is their DC on this? All right. So with you come up and you're putting on this decent enough display, but the guard in the back, he kind of speaks up and he says, "Ain't you from that new circus outside of town? Thought I saw you at weren't you at the show the other night, blasting through the air?"
Different guy. He uses alter self to try to look like locals.
I don't know. I mean, by the way, your little friend out there. I mean, I remember seeing him in the show too. Kind of hard to forget a face like that. I mean, hey.
Look, I've been assigned to bring these people in for special reasons. It's really best if I'm not at liberty to say. Can't compromise the situation. You can talk to Indira directly.
Look, sir. I can see what you're trying to do here. You know, you're all from the circus. You know, I know you like putting on like a show, that kind of thing. But you know, we have a job to do here, and you know, you're gonna have to go talk to Indira if you're trying to get in here. You're gonna have to talk to her. Like that's just the rules. And we got to guard this hole to make sure nobody gets in, nobody gets out. There's a lot of trouble in this part of town. And, you know, we got to make sure nobody's using this for anything nefarious. So you're going to have to go check with Indira if you want anything else. But I'm sorry, we can't let you in here. Good show the other night, though. I will. Well done. But this is just not the place for this.
Wow, you guys must be pretty low on the rung if you're just guarding a freaking stupid hole in the ground.
Well, I mean, we can't let... There's a lot of criminal activity in this part of town, and we have to make sure that they're not getting into the underground and making things worse. It's very important for the safety of the city, and, you know, Miss Indira is very concerned about, you know, keeping the city as safe as we can, and this is just a whole avenue that we want to keep closed off. Please, go talk to her.
Doing a great job being a sewer grate. Seriously. Bang up. You're one of the best manhole covers on the job.
Damn, everything was going so great.
Alright, here we go, guys. And Grotus takes out his fast travel potion. Starts walking back north towards the Tyr's office.
Alright. So, let's see. So you head to the Conclave Square here. And let's see. Check something here. Alright, so you head inside, and you find the front desk. here and inquire about a meeting with Andira. And she kind of looks over her notes here behind the desk and says, well, Miss Andira has a few other meetings today, but should be able to fit you in about 2 hours or so.
And there's the door like right behind him.
I mean, from the last time you were here, there's a door behind them that goes into a further hall, and then along that hall are a few different offices of various people, and one of them is Andira's.
Should have gone with plain name. I was just gonna say I got this scroll from Indira, and it's the smoke stick. And I crack the smoke stick, everything gets delivered, shoved straight towards. Yeah. Grotus just says, "No, it's okay. Yeah, it only takes a second. You walk right by it."
All right. So as you walk by, you just kind of burst right by to go back in there. You hear like the sound of a bell ringing. It sounds like this clerk here has some sort of bell on their desk that they're ringing as you kind of burst past here, and you see a couple of city guard pop out of the door right in front of you, and they're like, "Hey, where do you think you're going?"
I'm not armed, and I'm late for my appointment.
And they kind of look over at the clerk here at the desk, and she says, "I'm sorry, sir, but if you're wanting an appointment with Miss Indira, it's not for another 2 hours. Her schedule's full up."
Grotus is still walking down the hallway. They paid you to say that?
So these city guards are, they follow after you and catch up with you here. Roll a strength saving throw.
Puts a little hustle into it. Says, "Indira, they're gonna blow up the city. I'll have you stop. They're gonna blow it up."
Oh my God, he's gone full crazy.
Oh no! All right, strength saving throw. All right. So you do manage to kind of wrangle yourself out of their grip and kind of continue down the hallway here, shouting. There's you can kind of hear like one of the guards that was trying to hold you here. You hear him shouting, calling for some assistance. What are the other three of you doing out here in the foyer?
I mean,
I think Maz is just pretending she doesn't know him.
I'm eating some fucking peanuts out of my pocket and enjoying the show.
I'm clowning around. What kind of question is that?
Fair enough.
Grotus is snapped. He's been to the library, the magistrate, went downtown, and is now back at the fucking police precinct. He is about to throw chimpanzee poop at the walls.
Too much for his wee little brain.
Nothing has been set on fire or been thrown at him. This is a bad day in his life.
Oh man. Okay. So Grotus, you get to what you recall is Andira's door, and you can see around you here. There's a few other guards that are coming up the hallway here. They all seem to be converging on you. What are you doing?
Hey, dude, I just want to talk. Hey.
You Like, are you
Grandpappy's ring.
are you just like busting into Andira's office?
It's
Oh.
kind of like my appointment. Come on.
so, so you bust into Andira's office, and she's sitting here behind the desk, and she's talking to some elderly gentleman, and this elderly gentleman seems to have been in the middle of crying about whatever it was that he was talking to Andira about. And, both of them are kind of shocked by you, like, busting the door open in here. And Andira recognizes you. She's like, What the devil are you doing here in my office? You don't have an appointment right now?
I'm saving the city, and all you got to do is write on a piece of paper that we get to go under the mermaid fountain just one time. All right? Please and thank you.
Oh, that sounds so crazy. Oh.
It's for the good of the city. I can explain it if you want me to. I have a feeling you don't want me to. You just write it on the piece of paper. I'll be out of your hair.
Ma'am, please. It's a city. It's a matter of urgency for the city. I need a ticket to the merry-go-round, please, sir. Ma'am, please.
No time to explain.
If Grotus doesn't get in goddamn danger, he's gonna have a fucking mental breakdown. The whole city's gonna suffer.
Oh my god.
I don't know if you care about the fate of the world or my grandfather's ring or the fucking donuts rolling down the hill. Whatever the fuck it takes, honey. I gotta get under that rock. I'll tell you right now.
All right, so, Andira, from the last time, or from the initial time that you guys were here, Andira doesn't have a lot of patience for bullshit. And so
that's why I'm giving it to you straight. That's why I respect your time. Give it to you straight.
And especially whatever the heck was going on in here when you busted in here, she is very rapidly out of patience, and orders the guards who kind of quickly had piled into the room behind you. There's about 6 of them now, to restrain you, and they haul you off down the hall, and there seems to be a kind of rudimentary cell, like not like a full on like prison cell or anything, but more of like just like a holding cell. But they toss you in there for your disruption of city protocols and disturbance. The 3 of you out here in the foyer. You guys have you heard Grotus going down the hall. You heard all this shouting, this commotion, and then you kind of hear Grotus protesting, getting dragged off somewhere. What are you 3 doing?
Well, I guess this means we're waiting the 2 hours for our appointment.
I guess so. All right. And I think with that, we're going to go ahead and take our little break here. I know, Riz, you might need to go because you have to get up real early tomorrow for your work. But that's okay. We'll continue on for a little bit after we're back. But for now, go ahead and take our break. Do whatever you got to do. Shit out a ring into the sewer system. We all have things we got to be doing. So
I hope none of us need to do that.
I hope so. I hope we don't either.
I mean, it's if you got something coming, that's important.
You gotta. All right, so we'll
circuit. Yeah.
So we'll be back like 8:45. Do what you gotta do. Get a drink. Get a snack.
All right,
and we'll continue. All right.
Loves boobs.
So we're all back. Like I said, Riz has to work earlier than normal tomorrow morning, like 3 a.m. So she had to hop off for the moment. So yeah, you wait the 2 hours. 3 of you comfortably in the foyer of the Conclave Square. Grotus in kind of a rudimentary holding cell with some guards looking at you disapprovingly. But eventually your appointment with Andir comes. And Honker, Braz, and Maz, you are let into Andir's office. Where, she, as you all walk in here, you can tell she looks a little bit miffed. But, she welcomes you nonetheless. And, as you all take a seat, she's like, well, I hope the 3 of you are a little less rambunctious than your compatriot. Not sure what had gotten into him there, but
The burp.
I see.
Distant howling through the vents.
All right. Well, she kind of rubs her brow with her fingers here. It's like, all right. Well, what is it that you all wanted to see me about here? I mean, you have your set up outside town. That went all well. Great job on that show, by the way. I'm glad to see that it went well. But what business do you have with me here today?
To be honest, I don't actually know. I just followed Grotus here.
Oh man.
We probably need him.
We need to get into the mermaid hole.
That's such a perfectly honker way of putting that.
They said if we wanted to save the boy's soul, we had to get into the mermaid's hole.
There is a reason that the description of every single session of this of this and of the Waterdeep one refers to the entire party as the gang. As long as all of those have been going on, every single description, every single time, is the gang does X. And there is a reason for that.
Wait, we can do X? That exists in this world?
What the f are we doing here then?
Oh, jeez. All right, so the 3 of you here in Andira's office are a little puzzled as to why exactly you were here. There was something about mermaid holes and things, which Andira is somewhat knowledgeable as to what you're talking about, but she figures you guys seem to need Grotus, and here knows more about what's going on, and so she signals her city guard to go bring him in. So Grotus over there in the holding cell, see a couple guards approach, and they open the door here and says, "All right, your friends need you, I guess. Don't be causing any ruckus." And they kind of nudge you down the hall towards Andira's.
Grotus grumbles, I am the ruckus.
Alright, so you make your way down the hall and into Andira's office, and you see, Honker and Maz and Braz sitting here in chairs in front of Andira, all looking a little lost. Andira sees you walk in, her eyebrows kind of furrow a bit, and she's like, "All right, what's so important that you needed to bust into my office for? Your friends don't seem to remember, or at least they said they were following you. What's up?"
We seem to know about some creeps from previous towns that we've been in. They caused all kinds of environmental disasters. They're seeking special orbs. When we were there, we collected some intelligence that led us to believe very strongly on good intel that this conspiracy is connected to some sort of operation being run currently out of your Moonstone Hall, only accessible. Well, even though I know who's made, I already learned and forgot how and when it was made and for what reason. But I know that to get there, we got to go down this hole by the mermaid statue. But you have four very well trained and dutiful officers there who won't get the fuck out the way. Now, if I'm crazy, and I sure as shit am, but if I'm like crazy wrong about this, no harm done. You just got some extra trash in your shitter. That's no problem. If I'm right about this, it means everything.
So Andira, she kind of sits forward on her desk and kind of puts her hands up here, and seems to be interested in this tale that you're telling here. And she says, "Well, if you have reason to believe there's some sort of, criminal activity going down under the city, I mean, I would certainly welcome the help. I mean, if you're going to go down there yourselves, well, I mean, that saves me sending more of my own city guards down there. It seems like a win-win situation to me." And she kind of pulls out a piece of paper here and kind of drafts a quick little writ stating that the bearers have permission to enter the site. And she kind of hands this across to you all here, and she says, whatever you find down there, if there's anything of value, feel free to keep it as recompense for your trouble, except for any evidence of criminal wrongdoing. In fact, if you hear of any evidence at all of any kind of criminal wrongdoing around the city, please, I would love to hear about it.
Absolutely, man. I'll let you know as soon as I see somebody doing something wrong enough that I would narc on it.
And let's see.
You said we never go to the guards for anything, though. Honk.
Well, that's because we respect them too much to waste their time over our trivial domestic matters.
Okay.
And Dira, like, she hears you guys talking here, and she's like, just an issue with the circus folk? Or is everything above board?
It's circus law, you wouldn't understand. We've all under control. Everybody's body is as safe as it needs to be. Appreciate you. He steps out the door with this piece of paper.
All right. So you head out with your writ in hand, your search warrant, as it were, for this mermaid hole, and you head back down to the woodworkers district here. And as you are as you're leaving her office, she kind of calls after you here. She says, "Be sure, with whatever you guys are doing, keep on the right side of the law as much as you're able. I'm trusting you to avoid jeopardizing my position here in the city. But if there is something going on down there, take care of it." And she calls that after you as you guys are heading out of her office here. But yeah, you make it back down to the woodworkers district, and the guards are still at post around the sinkhole here, and you head up there with your writ of passage, and the guards are amenable to let you pass since you have this note from Andira herself, and they move to get the fence unlocked that they have around this hole. And they do say, as they open the gate here, one of them kind of perks up and says, just so you know, if you're going down there, I've heard some kind of clinking noises sometime coming up from down there, but it's not in our directive to investigate what's down there. We're just trying to make sure nothing comes out, and nothing goes in, unless you got to pass, of course, like you folks do. But
We sure do. What are you implying by clinking noises? That you should cause them warning.
like chains. Sounds like chains. Like I said, we haven't been down there. That's not what we're here to do. We'll guard the fence. But I heard chains, I think, down there. I don't know what it is, but just letting you know. So, there might be something down there. So be careful.
Like, fuck, cool beans. Cannonball!
Alright. Get the map up here. And you shouldn't be able to see anything quite yet. I don't believe.
Great, 'cause I can't.
Cool. Okay, let me get everybody in the party tracker here. Gotta clear some stuff out of this. Okay. Here's Braz. Here's Grotus. There's Scorch, who has been with us this whole time. And
Didn't know. He's such a good boy.
he is such a good boy. He is so well behaved. Nobody even noticed. Alright. So, in this sinkhole, as you guys kind of step through here, you know, there's still like the light of day coming down through here, and there is these wide stone steps that descend about 100 feet into this hole here. And as you guys head down, if you're heading down and get to the bottom of the steps there, I think you should be able to. Let me unlock the tokens. Okay, should be able to move yourselves freely around there. Okay, so as you get down to the bottom of the steps here, this subterranean chamber is pretty much entirely self-contained. The entrance that you've come down seems to be one way, and you notice it looks like to the south. It looks like there perhaps was another entrance at some point, but it looks to be collapsed. There's a bunch of rubble kind of blocking the way towards the southern part of the chamber, but the way that the stonework around it is constructed makes it seem like there is a door there or an entrance somewhere else. So the walls and the ceilings, and also like there's also some tiling along the floor here, is quite fanciful. It's all an amalgam of like white marble and alabaster, and you can see like some of these tiles out here are this kind of pink marble as well, kind of lending a bit of color to the place. You see a couple of doors ahead of you to the east, which lead into some sort of larger structure. There's a bit of a large round kind of entryway of sorts that juts out of the eastern wall, and kind of the walls on those kind of curve outwards and then into these kind of spiral shapes that go back on themselves, and the doors are in between those two. The ceilings in here are about 20 feet high or so, and aside from the light coming down from the hole behind you, it is dark down here. So I think aside from, I think all of you should be able to see except for Grotus as you go deeper in here. So you're gonna need some kind of light.
I have an ever-burning torch.
Oh, that's right. That's right, you do. Okay, so we have our ever-burning torch so Grotus can see. So you should be good there. Let's get my stuff up here. Okay, so far beneath the restless city lies this monument to the past. Sturdy doors of reinforced ebony guard the entrance to an impressive building of gleaming white stone. One of the doors is slightly ajar, you notice. There are white stone pillars that support the cavern ceiling above, and there are also stained glass windows along the kind of curvature of this this kind of rounded structure. Some of them are broken, but they kind of peer outwards like sightless eyes. There's quite a bit of debris and stone that are around here, and you can see in a few places in the ceiling what look like parts of foundations of the buildings above you that are, you know, either kind of built onto some of these pillars, or you can see parts of them kind of coming through some of the cavern walls. But yeah, it seems like this was all just kind of filled in and built on top of and, well, forgotten.
Where should we go, guys?
Well, maybe we should void that door that's ajar a little bit. Sniff around. It seems like that's what's most likely to find somebody. The southern caved in area. It looks caved in, but there might still be a door there.
Sure. All right, so you go take a look over to the south here. And go ahead and give me an investigation check as you do so.
What?
And
Not-
oh wait, is that not?
I don't have.
I keep forgetting that's not one in this. Perception. Okay. All right. So, to the south, so one thing you notice is that there's a faint scent coming from this direction, and what that scent is a bit of a sewery scent. But this area here is all collapsed, all filled in. The ceiling above has fallen in, making it impassable. And you know, at least just from looking at the amount of rock and debris and stuff that is here, it would probably take like several days worth of work to kind of clear through this here. And it also, interestingly, it looks somewhat recent, actually, this collapse. Like a lot of the other debris around here, looks like it fell and has, you know, been that way for quite some time. But this has signs of being a much more recent one.
Interesting.
Bras over there by the stairs, give me a perception check as well. Okay. All right. What else are you three doing here?
I'm kind of just waiting for them to pick away. Like, Roz very much resents their side hustle. She never wanted to do it, but, you know, just along for the ride.
Okay. So, Grotus, you kind of head this way over towards these windows here. And so you see that there's these kind of finely detailed stained glass windows along the exterior of this hall here. Most of them are broken. There's still enough like glass in them that, you know, passing through or trying to like just bust through them, gonna get cut up a bit doing that. But it's, you know, it's dark beyond, unless Honker wanders over with his torch to get some light in there for you. But you see, more of this. You kind of see the slight glint of these fine marble floors in there. You see some sort of like pattern or design in the floor work inside this kind of entrance rotunda here. But you don't notice anything. Aside from aside from this torch that Honker's got, it is dark down here. Give me another perception check there as you're up by those windows. All right. So, Grotus, as you are looking through this window, you hear this metal clinking sound that, like, one of the guards up by the front of the hole had reminded you about, coming from directly behind you. And you whirl around and see that there is a lizard-like creature that appears to be chained to this pillar. You didn't notice it before because it's kind of a pale white color, and it kind of blends in with this kind of pale white marble that is everywhere around here. But it's pretty decently sized. It's larger than Honker. And as you're seeing this one with that perception roll, you actually see that there are two of them. There's another one up by the northern pillar, also chained to that pillar, but they both seem to be kind of getting up on their legs, both of which they have 8 of them. But you see them kind of rearing up and moving to attack. Everybody go ahead and roll initiative. Alrighty. So with that, starting at the top of the order here, with this southern creature by the pillar, it moves forward towards you, Grotus, and you see its chain kind of trailing behind it. It seems to have a decent amount of chain, at least from what you can see. From what it gets up to you to attack you. It looks like that's about half of its chain in terms of how far it can go from that pillar to you. But it comes up to you and tries to bite at you with its little lizard jaws. Manages to hit. Takes another bite at your legs, critically misses. And critically misses a third time, ending its turn. Grotus, your response. Finally, some excitement. A little pain.
Oh, yes. So dropping into stumbling stance is my first action.
Mhm.
Second action is going to be to feint at this guy.
Okay.
As if I'm about to put my hand anywhere near his face by punching him.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a fake.
Oh, here, let me get you a better. Here's a picture of these guys. Except they are white.
Ooh.
Lovely little buggers.
Okay, so I rolled that feint through deception.
Okay, 24. That would succeed.
Cool. So now he's flat-footed for this next attack.
Okay.
And it's going to be a flurry. So it's 2 attacks with 1 action.
All right, fire away.
And Grotus is going to be singing his new battle song, drunkenly, as he's getting into his stumbling stance. And
Okay.
He's going to roll this attack at this guy. Say, Yoga Babi, Yoga It's his best chance to do that.
All right. All right.
Baby
And that hits.
So he adds 1 to that. It's special thing.
Mm-hmm.
And second attack. And these are stunning strikes. I'll say this one's a stunning strike.
Okay. And that one does hit as well.
Cool. So the stunning strike thing, just gonna double check how that works. Stunning fist. Focus by the fairy. Buttons to overwhelm your target when you target the same creature with 2 strikes from your flurry of blows. Try to stun the creature. Either strike hits and deals damage. You must succeed at a fortitude save against your class DC or be stunned 1.
Okay.
Stunned 3 on a crit failure.
All right. Let's see. Let me pull up what the class DC would be. Is that... trying to think remember what that's based off of. Is that like based off of your dex or something? Checking. Let me look it up. Let's see. Pathfinder. Okay, this is DC equals 10 plus their proficiency bonus for their class. So, let's see. What would that be at this point? Oh, and plus the modifier for the class's key ability score. Okay. So... I think...
I haven't actually found what the proficiency bonus is. I haven't found it.
Yeah, because it says at like level 1, it's typically +3, but we're level 5. So let's see, proficiency bonus, Pathfinder.
It's on the combat tab of your character sheet.
Oh, is it?
Towards the top right, it'll say your proficiency plus, and that gives, or it shows your
DC.
various proficiencies.
It's right there. It says, yeah, proficiency
So +9.
plus 9 because I'm an expert.
Okay, so 10 plus 9 plus your dex modifier, so 23. Okay, so
Yeah. So
nice.
he's stunned. 1.
Yeah, so he's stunned. All right, sweet. And let me double check what exactly that does in 2E, because I never remember what the difference is between these. Okay, can't act while stunned. Okay, so that reduces the number of actions they can take on a turn. Cool.
So he's got -1.
Yeah, -1, and further levels of stun further reduce those actions until you have no actions because you are completely stunned. All right, cool, nice. All right. Anything else on your turn, Gravis?
That's my 3 actions. I think I used them.
I think so. All right, Honker. Little lizard buddies be creeping about. Well, they're not so little. They're bigger than you, but...
I'll move up and then we'll chill touch.
Okay, and it critically succeeds against that.
Okay, so nothing. There's.
Okay.
Those are my 3 actions.
Okay. Braz. And Scorch.
Yes. I will go up up to this other one.
Okay.
And I will attack it with my club.
All right, smack away. That hits. Nice. And a miss.
Okay, that's my turn.
Alrighty. And Scorch is just being themselves. Alright, Maz, I'll take care of Maz here. Let's see. Where did I put them? Oh, they're still up here. Okay, so Maz, let's see. 5, 10, 15. Maz will move down here to the bottom of the stairs. And then attempt to do their bladed hoop at the one over here by Braz. Alright, missing that toss. And critically missing another toss. Not so good there. Alright. Over by you, Braz. This creature. Oops. Hey, Coco. Get off my desk. There we go. Thank you, buddy. Alright. So this creature tries to bite at you, Braz. Hitting. And biting into you for 16 damage.
Rude.
And then tries once more. Hitting once more for 9.
Ow.
And then you see this creature's like eyes widen and it stares at you. And ooh. You are petrified. Let me see what that condition does in
You're
this.
what?
Let's see. So yeah, you are turned to stone at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Braz is currently turned to stone. Looks like there are some aspects to that. But all right. Good to know. Braz, is there a save for this? Or are you just stone unless you get cured somehow? Let's see. Let's take a look. So we have not dealt with this particular condition before. Okay, there's like there are a few ways to reverse this, but we'll get into that. But for now, Braz, you are a lovely statue.
Wonderful.
I will say, just because Scorch still exists, we will let you use your actions with Scorch, since he is kind of you as well. So he's not just chilling up here.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'd have him move up to the
Okay.
one that made me art
Yep.
and attack
Alrighty. Let's see. He's targeting them. All right. Bites. Misses. Hits. And let's see, that actually deals additional damage because he is within range of you, even though you are a lovely piece of art right now. So let me add that damage to that as well. Okay. All right, and then attacks. Oh, and
not to speak too out of turn or anything, but Braz, did you use a hero point on that save? It might have been time to use our new hero point.
That actually is a good point. I mean, you do all get hero points every single session, but you guys do also have additional hero points for all of the earlier shenanigans as well.
Okay.
So if you
I
do,
should have two because I haven't used one this session.
correct. So I will allow, since thank you for bringing that up. If you do want to use a hero point on that, Browse, I will let you.
Sure.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me. What was that save? I think it was a con. Let me double check. Where is that guy's character sheet? Fortitude. Okay, it's Fortitude save. So go ahead and roll me a Fortitude save. All right. With that. Okay, so with that, you would not have been. You're not petrified.
Yeah.
You are slowed. So crit fail is what petrified you. So slow in Pathfinder 2E. Let's see.
I'm not art anymore.
No, you're still art in your own way. Slowed condition. All right, so this reduces the actions you have. Let's see. So when you regain your actions at the start of your turn. Oh, okay. So currently you only have 2 actions. So we'll get. So I guess with that, then that would be Scorch, and actually, well, okay, we had Scorch doing their thing actually uses your actions. So okay, we'll call that Scorch did that. Okay, Maz sees you getting gummed up here by this creature, moves up, and they continue the slashing with the hoop at this one that's going after you and Scorch. There we go. Nice. Hey, hit. And a number 2. Also a hit. Max damage hit even. Very nice. And 3. Miss on that one. But still, good damage. Nonetheless, Grotus. You see this other creature over by Braz doing weird stuff with its eyes. What are you doing?
I don't like that. This one in front of me, though. I'm gonna turn around and act like I'm running away, and then actually donkey kick him in the face. Here comes the deception.
All right, roll it up. Okay.
Now the flurry of blows.
All right. And that's that. This is the one where they have to beat your class DC, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it a stunning strike when I do the flurry of blows. But this one, the deception, I think it has to beat their wisdom DC.
Their
Their
wisdom DC.
deception DC.
Let me check. Let me check. Let me check. That would beat it. Yes.
Okay, so he's flat-footed for the first swing of this flurry of blows.
Okay. Ooh.
Other
Miss on the
second
strike.
one. So if either of these hit, he's got to do that roll. This,
That one hits, so you get your roll.
minimum damage.
Ooh.
He's still got to roll his
Yeah, and this is
fortitude save.
a fortitude save. Yeah, right. Okay, so fortitude. Looking to beat a. It was a 23. They rolled a 28. So they still have the stunned 1, but they're not stunned 2. So
And they still got that 4 damage. So
indeed, still something.
So well, I have one action left.
Oh,
That was first. Yeah. So last swing. Okay, now.
Ah. All right, Honker. Uh-oh. Looks like we might have lost Quick again.
Test.
I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, it says you're disconnected from Fantasy Grounds, and if you know what you were gonna do, I can have you do it. Unless we just lost you on the phone too. Oh, there he goes. Oh, and he's back. Oop.
Well,
God.
isn't this exciting?
Goddamn. Ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. Oh, I see them back in Fantasy Grounds. Hey. Oh. Damn. Hey, there we go. You know, you'd think for everything you do for the place you work for to get you better internet, but oof.
Problem is, I need to fix my internet. I need like several tenants in the apartment building to cooperate and let us into their storage unit. So it's a
Oh, that's a pain.
whole thing.
That's a whole thing. All right, what are you
Yeah.
doing, Honker?
If you could throw me the map.
Oh, yes, of course. Here you go. Whenever you get back in there, Braz, let me know and I'll reshare the map for you too.
Actually, it popped up.
Oh, did it? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Blistering Invective. That's cool sounding. Sounds like Vicious Mockery, but worse.
Yeah. They should have taken 2 damage. Sorry.
They should have taken
It's
2. Okay.
3, but persistent brain damage.
Oh, cool. Okay. Very nice. I'll modify that here over on them. Okay. All right. Anything else aside from those?
No.
Gotcha. Hey, cool. Keep moving. All right. All right. Over here by you, Braz. This creature tries to bite at Scorch since it got a couple nibbles off into it here. Hits. All right. Tries once more. Ooh, hits again. Ooh. And yeah, they're pretty nasty little fuckers. And it tries to do its little stare at Scorch, but Scorch succeeds his fortitude save and is good. All right. Medium Beast 7 here is stunned 1, so they only have 2 actions. So for their first action, they try chomping at you. Grotus here with their little needle teeth. Ooh, a crit on the chomp. Ooh, 27 damage with their nasty little teeth. And then he also tries the old eye business. And Grotus saves handily on that one. No effect on you there, thank goodness. All right, Grotus. Just got a nice little needle teeth chomp out of you from this dude.
It's going to be more seasoning for the iguana grill kebab I'm about to fucking have out of this guy.
Alrighty.
And I don't have to do my deception dance because he's now flat-footed since he succeeded at a melee attack on my stun skills.
That is true. Blast him.
Glory blows coming at you.
Ooh, a crit right back.
Love to see it.
Nice. All right, a big fat whopping 22. Creature 7 here. Very nice. Followed by a critical miss.
That one missed, but
Twice the pride, double the fall.
I still have two actions left. He's stunned 1.
Yep.
So I'm gonna deceive in the fate.
Okay. All right. That passes.
And then my last desperate swing will at least be against a flat-footed enemy.
Indeed. Ooh.
Not enough.
Not enough. All right. Honker. Assuming we did not lose you.
No, I didn't. 1 second.
Okay.
Modify. Okay. I will. We'll try this one.
Okay.
Phantom Pain.
Ooh. All right, they succeeded on that. Does that still do anything even with the success?
That'll take 2d4.
2d4. Okay. All right. Respectable little 5 damage on there. What else are you doing?
That'll be my turn.
Okay. Braz, You and Scorch. What are you doing?
Um.
And you
Oh.
currently have 2 actions just because of the
Okay.
slow.
I'll go ahead and just let Scorch attack.
Okay. Scorch, attack, ahoy. Let me go find him in the sheet here. Okay. Scorch. A miss. Ah. An oof on both fronts for Scorch. Alright. Medium beast 11 here. Takes a bite at Scorch. Hits. And then also takes a bite at Braz. Misses. And tries once again with the eyeball business. But you succeed! So you don't have any further effects. You're still slowed 1, but you don't have any additional things stacking on top of you there. Alright. 7 is stunned. 1 still. Chompity chomp. Ooh. Another crit. Woo! Ow-wee! God damn.
Still got my 1 lucky HP.
Holy shit. Alright. Oh, critical. What is critical success first that do? Hold on. Okay. Okay, nothing in particular on a critical success. You just did a really good job.
Glorious.
Glorious. All right. Maz moves up here to assist Braz and Scorch. And let's loose on the smackarooning. Ugh. A hit. There we go. Minimum damage hit, but still a hit nonetheless. Ah, another miss. Damn. But both of these creatures aren't looking too good. Like you guys are wearing them down, even though they're taking some big old chomps at you. All right. Medium beast over here turns. Oops. To chomp at Maz here. Hits. Chomps again. Hits. Whew. And then tries the eyes. Ooh, okay. Maz fails the save, and they are now also slowed 1. Alright. Well, this one came up first in the order here, Grotus. Let's see what we got. Chomping. Ooh!
Oh, Lord.
Ooh! Owie. Oh, 3 crit. That's a lot of crits in a row. Grotus goes down from this, and the beast moves off in this direction towards the other remaining folks. Honker.
Honker will pull out a flint and steel and light his arm on fire and cast. Where is it? cast Spirit Link on Grotus.
Okay.
Hold on here.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
This. Okay, how many? What's his max hit points? 78.
Max, yeah. If you're looking for like what their their max HP is, 75 right now, in terms of their total that they had at the start. What you doing?
Okay, so I think the way I'm reading this, he'll regain 2 hit points. So I'll put that on him.
So is this taking from the creature or
No, it burns me.
oh.
I take whatever he gets.
Cool, buddy. Yeah. Okay. All right. So Grotus, you were back up barely, but you are there. Anything else with your actions, Honker?
Yeah, then I will. Yeah, I will use Inspire Defense on Grotus.
Okay. So
That's all I can do.
All right.
Boy, your arm's on fire. What the fuck?
All right, Maz. Did I accidentally close Maz's sheet? Oopsies. There it is. All right, Maz. Oh, that wasn't supposed to target at Braz. Oopsies. Let's try that again. And a miss. And a hit. Hey, that one's a hit. That's right, she only has 2. She doesn't get a 3rd one. Because of the slow. And that is enough. Alright, this one goes down. That one is 11. Blood splat. There we go. Very nice. Alright, Braz. You got 2 actions.
Okay, I have battle medicine, so I'm gonna try to give Grotus some more hit points, hopefully.
Okay. Okay, a 12 would not succeed, so that would not do any successful medicine administrations there.
Okay, and then, yes, I'll use my other action just to move towards the other critter.
Okay. Grotus. You're up, barely.
Really? First action. Elixir of life. Been holding on to this puppy for a minute. So it looks like I'm going to get +1 on saving throws and 3d6 plus 6 hit points.
All right. So 13 plus 6. Okay.
I already had the 6. Yeah, I already put the 6 in the modifier box, so it's 13 altogether.
Oh, oof. Credit rolls on the dice there, but still better than almost dead. And it looks like you get some saving throw bonuses too, so that's cool. All right.
So now I'm back on my feet. I see the beast that still has my blood in its mouth, and I'm just gonna bum rush that fucker and give him a big ol' hefty elbow drop.
All right, get him.
No deception. No deception, no flailing, no stumbling stance. He's just charging with nunchucks now.
Sounds good.
So 1 action move, next action chuck.
Sweet. Oh, a critical.
Chuck, yeah.
Bam. All right. That's all she
Dude,
wrote.
that's one attack, but with nunchucks, it's a flurry. So he's just hammering down, flailing it.
Boom. All right. They are taken out, these creatures, whatever they were.
Can we try and discern what they were?
Sure. Do an Arcana check.
I'm judging by the smear. This one was great flavor.
Okay, and if anybody else also wishes to. Okay. Braz. These are basilisks. Well, were.
Okay.
And in terms of, let me see if there's any other info about them you might know. Let's see. So yeah, they tend to turn people to stone with their gaze, much like a cockatrice. Dun 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 dun. They they prefer to eat stone, so typically after petrifying things, they eat them. And so there are some legends that basilisk blood can transmute things into other materials that you've heard. So that's probably the main interesting thing. So you remember hearing some interesting things about basilisk blood. So
Bottle some up.
all right.
Sure, some weirdo will buy it.
Probably. If anything, that's something. All right. So with the basilisk down, let's see. You want to do any? I'm sure Maz can probably do some medicining as well, because some people got chomped. Well, pretty much everybody got chomped a bit except Honker. Some to death.
Honker got burned a bit.
That's true. Honker got burned a bit of their own accord. Let's see. Alright, oof. Not a pass on that check. On Grotus. I try to administer to Braz. Oof. It's not a good time in the medicine department. I guess.
I can try again for Grotus.
Okay. I'll try for. Alright, well, succeeded on Scorch at least. So. That was what, 2d8. So Scorch. Alright, Scorch is a little better. Oof, not so much on. Oof, things are looking a little rough down here in the entrance of this hole. But you guys are just in the entrance of this hole, so if you need to regroup at all, you guys are just down the hole.
Yeah, we might need to, before we go further, probably double back and resupply on healing items, I think.
Probably be a good plan.
That elixir of life was the last one in my inventory.
Good plan. Good plan. Okay. So, yeah, things might be a little spicy down here. And so, in the wake of this little basilisk encounter outside these front doors, who seem to belong to someone, they're chained up. Somebody chained them up there. But with that information, you guys head up the stairs back out of the hole. The guards kind of see you coming up out of there, bloodied, looking like death in some cases. And, they all look pretty shocked. One of them asked you walk past, "What the? I thought I heard some commotion on there. What the hell did you run into?"
Next time you hear chains coming from underneath the city, you just gas that shit right away, all right? Just gas that shit. Don't stand there and be like, "Oh, I heard chains." God damn. Which way to the apothecary?
If you head towards the artisan district near the city square, I'm sure they'd be able to assist.
All right, cool beans. She kind of looks away.
All right, so you guys head that way, and you're able to find there's some apothecaries over by the kind of city hall. They treat some of the city guards as well for anything that they come in contact with, but they let you in there and kind of help you fix up some of this stuff. But I think for now we will call it there for tonight with our first little escapade into the halls under Escodarm. So yeah, we'll pick this up next time.
Right on, guys. Good gaming.
Indeed, great RP stuff in the front half there. That was a lot of fun. Good job, guys.
Catch you guys later.
Indeed.
Night.
All right. Good stuff. So, let's see. For those of you out here on the stream, I think what I may do is, because I'm still pretty weak, and kind of feel like doing some more Baldur's Gate. So I may stop the stream for a few minutes, get some more water and whatnot, and then I think we'll come back and do some more Baldur's Gate 3 for a while before I decide to go to bed. And we'll see how much farther we get in that story. So, we will see you in a few minutes.